So are you 100% confident you're going to make it to Katahdin?
Yeah.
Really?
You
Excellent.
have to be.
Oof.
You have to be. Why not? It's just.
I don't know.
It's just
That
one
was
step
Dana,
after the
yeah.
other. If you slack pack, then then it's automatically a flip flop.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah, especially
Let's see what they say to
Thanks.
that.
Yeah.
So welcome back to Shuttle Tales, where I drive through hikers to the Appalachian Trail and chat with them. And this is Paul. And here's part of Paul's story for his 2,200 mile thru hike from Georgia to Maine. All right, welcome to Atlanta, Paul.
Well, thank you.
Where'd you fly in from?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. So you were supposed to be here a couple days ago, man. What happened?
Oh, man.
Is that too personal to get into?
No, it's not personal. It's just
Right.
stupid. You never take on a big project right before you're about to go somewhere. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, hey, you actually, do you want to go through Wendy's or McDonald's?
No, I'm good, actually.
You're good now.
Yeah,
okay.
there was a Burger King at the airport.
All right,
as I was walking by, and I was like,
there you
okay,
go.
that's
Okay.
the most convenient.
All right, because it's going to be probably 30 minutes or so before we get somewhere where there's more restaurants. We'll be stuck on a highway there for a little bit.
That's okay. So what happened was basically we have a small camper van, like one of those Ram ProMasters. That we bought an empty van and we built it out into a camper.
Ah, cool.
And man, that thing has been great. We love it. We used to have, back in the day, we used to have a Volkswagen van, like the hippie kind.
The old, yeah, those are cool.
And
they
so,
just came out with something new.
They did, but it's
similar.
electric and it doesn't make any sense, for a camper. But
Right. Where do you plug it in?
They actually have, Volkswagen actually has one. It's called the California, that unfortunately is not sold in the U.S.
Okay.
So, which looks great. So anyway, we built our own van and everything's going great. I decided a few years ago that I can install cruise control. I said I want cruise control. So I built my own cruise control, stuck it on there. It's been going great, and then, but then over time I started having this issue where every time I turn the key, occasionally a lock would come on the dashboard, and it's the immobilization system, and I have no idea whether that has anything to do with this janky cruise control that I set up. So,
right.
But over time it's been getting kind of worse and worse and worse. So anyway, my wife is going to take the van and meet me places, right? So
cool.
It's kind of a critical part of this tour, of this hike. So
yeah.
So I said, okay, well, let me take out the cruise control, and then maybe that'll fix it, right? So of course that's at 5 p.m. when I have to fly out the next morning, right? So,
okay.
and unsoldered everything, put it all back together, and turned the key on, and the lock still occurs. I'm like,
Still
son of a
happening.
gun.
So that wasn't that.
That's what happened. So
okay.
And I felt
how did
like,
you learn to go ahead? You felt like what?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't want to leave the van like that because it's my wife's going to come down in a month and see me or for spring break and stuff. And it's I wanted I felt like I wanted her to have a working vehicle,
something reliable. So how did you learn how to install a cruise control and rewire the vehicle?
Well, I have degrees in electrical engineering.
All right, well that's a good start.
So but they don't teach cruise control installation in school.
Right.
Although they should, it would really be a popular class.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I guess if you the research makes more sense to you quicker than it would make sense to me, I would think. I don't have a background, technical background, at least in engineering.
Yeah, or it just gives me more confidence to screw things up.
Maybe that's
that could also be the case.
Yeah.
So
you're confident now she's going to be able to. The van's reliable. She can drive down. Where's the first spot?
Well, it's a Ram ProMaster, right? So let's use the word reliable.
I don't
quotes,
even know
right?
what a Ram ProMaster looks like.
Like
this thing in front of us?
It's exactly like this.
Oh, no
thing in front
kidding.
of us. Except mine's white and that's blue.
All right. What year is the vehicle?
2017.
Okay.
And I bought it right when COVID hit.
Okay.
And I had to get it at an auction, and it was because these things were going like crazy. Like when COVID hit, everybody wanted a camper.
Yeah.
And so everybody started everybody was stuck inside watching, miscellaneous YouTube videos, and #van life became really popular building these things out.
Right. I remember that. It was
a
really big deal.
So you asked like how I learned to do that kind of stuff, and I got to tell you, it was really. I told you we bought a Volkswagen Vanagon. This is back 20 years ago. Back
the Vanagons.
Late '90s, early. It was probably like late '90s to early 2000s, and the problem with those, I bought it because I wanted to learn automotive mechanics.
Okay.
And it definitely delivered on that because that thing was always breaking down. We ended up taking it to like 46 of the 48 continental United States.
Awesome.
Just driving around, in the summertime and stuff. And it broke down all 46 states. I have a photo album of every place that it broke down. In fact, I ended up spending a night at a Pep Boys in Savannah here in Georgia.
There you go.
And the worst thing about these old Volkswagens is that the motor was in the back, which is where all your stuff is, right? So when you're broken down the side of the road, you're not just broken down the side of the road. You're broken down the side of the road with your suitcase and everything else.
You got to unload
sitting
everything.
On the side of the road.
Put it on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely.
So you can, while you work on the vehicle.
You got your Dodge van, the Ram van, ready for your wife to come meet you.
Yep.
Do you know where she's going to meet you first? You got that worked out?
Well, depending upon whether I could get my fat ass out of Georgia, it'll probably be North Carolina. So I'm hoping to be done the Smokies right when she comes to meet me, and then we could spend a few days in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fun area. The Smokies are magical. Great place to hike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she do any hiking, backpacking at all with you?
She does. Okay. Not as much. When we were younger, she used to. I'll tell you a story about how we got into this.
Okay, sure.
We got married and we ended up moving up to Rhode Island. That's right near, that's sort of close to the White Mountains. And we went up to the White Mountains for just a, little weekend trip. And there was a North Face outlet store right there in Lincoln, New Hampshire, that was going out of business. And it's like the entire outlet store was going out of business. So
wow.
And on the way up, I was telling her, hey, I'd like to get into backpacking. So we just went in there with a credit card and just like bought one of everything, or actually two of everything.
Right. One for you, one for her.
That's right. We looked like a North Face advertisement, because like the tent, sleeping bag, clothes, everything was North Face.
Yeah.
And this is back in 95, 94, 95, around there.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit earlier, and so we just kind of like learned to backpack in New England, and she did a great job. She was doing awesome. And every weekend I would go up to the White Mountains and go backpacking someplace. And that's kind of how we learned to go backpacking. But we have 5 kids.
Okay.
All boys.
Wow. Okay.
And so then she's now more she hasn't done it in a while as much as not that I've done it a whole lot since then either. But
sure. So have you? I guess spent 3, 4, 5 nights in the woods, a section like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So hiking 8 to 10 miles a day, something similar to at least what you'll do the first few days here.
Yeah, but not in the condition I'm in. So we'll see.
But I mean, at least you've done it.
I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you dug a cat hole and used it before?
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of people I drive up that have never.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah. Never dug a cat hole. I drive a lot of people up who still have their tent in the box, and they've cut they're cutting the tags off when we get up here. Yeah. They do a pack explosion on this bench in front of the visitor center and cutting tags off of jackets and pulling the tent out of the box. Never set it up, and they hike to Maine. Or they get pretty darn close one way or the other. They figure it out.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's something about the Appalachian Trail attracts people with zero experience, and I guess it's doable. It's not a particularly wilderness. I mean, you're in the wilderness, but you're never really more than a couple days from town. It's certainly within the first from here to Virginia. Right? You're going to cross a road, whether it's Forest Service or paved, almost every day.
I've done most of the AT in the White Mountains.
That's awesome.
So back in the day, there was never this thing that you had to do it in a year. It was always just you had to complete the AT.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know when they came up with the idea of it has to be done within a calendar year.
To call it an official thru-hike?
Yeah, to call it an official thru-hike.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because even if you read AWOL's book.
No.
It's a fantastic book.
I hear it's really good.
It's basically, him talking about his trip, and
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a computer geek like me, but somehow he manages to write really well.
Huh.
And so he just has a really nice way of like making it interesting. Anyway, he said 2003 there was no definition. So sometime after that they changed it to do within a year.
Yeah, I don't know when they said when that came about. Well, it seems like it's a reasonable challenge. I mean, it's just some arbitrary piece of recognition in some logbook maintained by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. Who cares, really?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you section hike all of the Appalachian Trail over the course of your lifetime, then that's quite an accomplishment as well.
Yep.
But I guess to get it done in a year, that's something else. Fine. They recognize it. During COVID, I think they refused to recognize it. They were trying to stay off trail. And so people that went and did it didn't get an official recognition, but they still did it.
I know.
I would recognize it. You get the no dog seal of approval.
The no dog seal, that's
right?
that's even better.
That's probably worth more.
Yeah. So the Appalachian Trail Long Distance Association also recognized.
Did they recognize them?
Yeah, it's
good for them. I feel like I'm doing an ad, but I'm not. But between the ATC and ALDA, ATC I think is more concerned with the trail itself and literally like the condition of the footpath. And is the footpath passable, where it's going to go, and maintaining that. And then I think ALDA really is hiker focused, and the well-being of the hikers on the trail, more so than the ATC. If I had to try to, design that out, designate that out. I mean, like the ATC is almost a quasi-governmental, entity, where ALDA is just straight up, by the hikers for the hikers.
So when are you going off?
I'm going to leave March 31st.
Okay.
That's it. That's my start date. I wish
I
I could leave earlier, but I can't. I need to. I agreed to chaperone my kids' school trip to Disney World. It's a chorus thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's like the 26th of March, and then maybe 3-4 days, whatever it is, and then I get back. I'm in town for a day, and then I'm going to hike to Maine.
When I was in New England, I would always meet through hikers. In 95, 96, I must have met like almost everyone that passed through there.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was really cool, the people that started April 1st. It's like April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
I always thought I would do that. And then I realized, hey, I need an extra month to get in shape.
Well, I was going to start April 1st, and then I looked at how many other people registered to start April 1st.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm going to go March 31st, because April 1st is well over 50-something people. And I'm sure March 31st is stacking up as well. Yep. So I try to maybe avoid, those massive days. Like March 15th, April 1st, April 15th. There's something psychological about those days.
So are you planning to do the approach trail?
Yes, except now I have some doubt. I've done it before. I did it when I attempted a thru-hike in 2000. Then I've done it forward and backward 2 more times, just on some section hikes I wanted to do in Georgia. And then I've done the stairs, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Lots of times, just from going to Amicalola with my kids and family and myself or whatever. And so I was thinking, well, I've done it. I don't necessarily need to do it, but I'm like, nah, I want my thru-hike to start with the approach trail. So when I'm out there and I'm chatting with everybody else, 90-something% of people I think start with the approach trail, and I just figured I'll fit in.
Yeah.
But then I was chatting with Rob, one of the co-owners of Outdoor 76. Are you familiar with Outdoor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rob's the shoe guru, and Rob says don't do the approach trail. He says you're getting ready to do it. It's too late. Rob, he was like, don't do it, and I'm like, but I'm gonna do it. He's like, he goes, go slow. He's like, split it into 2 days then. All right, maybe I'll do that. So maybe that's the plan, is do it in 2 days, do half and half instead of. I mean, it's just a whole lot of ups, and I guess it's mildly brutal on your body compared to going what we've been doing, which is shuttling people.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not getting in as much prep as I really wanted to. I try to get a walk in. I got a some like there's a nature center near me that has some elevation. I try to put in 3 to 5 miles. I don't know, every other day if I can, but it's more like 2 times a week. If I'm being honest about it, just not getting those miles in.
Oh.
So
I had big plans.
Yeah.
When I decided to do this, I was going to lose a whole bunch of weight. I was going to be in shape. I was going to look like,
yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Well, you'll lose,
Yeah, so,
just go slow. Rob was telling me about these folks from like 2021. He still remembers. They called themselves the 8 Train, and because they were younger guys too, like 20s, who just all agreed we're only going to do 8 miles a day. So this year I'm forming Team Ocho, because I don't want to copy the 8 Train.
I like
that. Team Ocho, and that's it. 8 miles a day until I get to Franklin, and then I'll start thinking about stepping up the miles.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I gotta tell you. So I told you we lived in New England.
Yep.
I met all the thru-hikers, and I met this one guy. Have you ever heard of Baltimore Jack?
Yeah, I have heard of Baltimore. He passed away not too long ago,
He
right?
did, and I didn't know he was still kicking around the AT. I actually met him in, I think it was probably 95. And
oh, wow.
He tried it. He attempted a thru-hike and didn't make it. And I met him at at one of those like huts in the AMC, one of those AMC huts. He was working there. We ended up eating dinner together.
Oh, cool.
He was telling me all about the trail, and I was like, okay, I really got to do this. After this guy talking about it, and it turned out that he ended up becoming a legend. He ended up staying on the trail and
I don't think he ever left the trail.
He never. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I agree. And
up and down and work for stay, work for stay, and then that's it. Keep going, help people out, and
So okay, so that was then, and then we moved to Georgia after New England.
Oh, I didn't know you lived.
And I was living here. I was living in Lawrenceville.
Okay.
It's relatively close to here.
Yep.
And I remember I went to Amicalola Falls. I always heard you start in Amicalola Falls. And this is, back before the internet was really popular and all the information was available. And I looked at a map and I was like, wait a second, there's a road that goes to the top. Why the hell? And I swore from that day forward, there's no way in hell I'm doing the approach trail if there's a freaking road that goes to the top.
Right.
So my goal tomorrow is to sign in, which is a pain because I have to go all the way down to sign in from the lodge.
Yeah.
And then either try to hitch a ride to the top, or at least hitch a ride to where the campground is. Because if you start at the campground.
Which campground are you talking
in
about?
Amicalola Falls.
Okay.
So look at the trail map. It's.
I mean, I know Amicalola, the park, really well.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot going on there.
So
like the road to the top and then a road to some cabins.
So where the arch is, to where the campground and lodge are, is about 800 feet elevation gain.
That's right.
And so if you're able,
in about a mile.
And about a mile,
you gotta do
exactly.
The stairs.
You have to do the stairs, right?
Yep.
So if you cut out the stairs, then it's a much more feasible hike. As your first trip, it's only 2,000 feet elevation gain, right?
Something like that. Over the course of the next 7 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to get up to Springer. Are you planning on, I guess, hiking the Springer though on the approach trail? Or are you going to try to find a ride to Springer?
I'm going to try to find a ride to Springer.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, and I saw somewhere that said I saw some survey, and who knows how legit it was. It's like one of these Facebook surveys, but 30% were planning to start at Springer and not do the approach trail. 70% is doing the approach trail. So,
all right.
And I've seen Amicalola Falls myself. I had a baby attached to my back when I was doing it.
Yeah. All right.
So I've done it with a backpack, and I don't know. It's okay, but there's going to be 2,197.9 miles.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do an additional 8.
You don't want to do
that. Doesn't count.
Steps don't count.
That's right.
I had a guy in the car earlier this year who was a Triple Crown attempt. He PCT, then CDT, and now the AT, and I drove him straight to Springer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, stairs don't count. That's not AT.
Yeah, it's
like, all right. I'm like, but it's psychological trail. He goes, nope. We had his fun banter. He's like, nope, doesn't count. I think his video's out now. Good Boy was his trail name.
I'm shocked that you actually want to do the approach. Especially
I told
since
you
you've
I'm
done
on
it
now. I'm
before.
on the fence.
There's no way in heck. I mean, if I could find a ride, I'm going to find a ride.
I don't know. I mean, to me, like, here the trail, like the approach trail, to me, after doing sections for the past 20 something years here, between Georgia and mostly Georgia, North Carolina, and some Tennessee, the approach trail is just like an average day. Maybe slightly more,
I know.
maybe slightly more difficult than average. So it's like, go do it. Just hike on up to Springer, and it's
But
just 4 or 5 hours of hiking.
It also represents one more zero when you need it, somewhere in the middle of the trail,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, it's a good way to
So,
look at it. So I'm on the fence though. I'm really on the fence. The stairs don't scare me. I've done the stairs.
Yeah.
You've done the stairs.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 600 stairs. You're gonna. There's a lot of mountains you're gonna climb in Georgia, where it's gonna take 600 steps to get up the mountain. Like the final ascent of Blood Mountain, there's 600 steps.
Yeah.
Quote unquote steps, except they're not even. It's roots and rocks and mud.
I used to take the kids when they were real little on Blood Mountain. That used to be our little hike.
That's cool. So did you start at like the side trail, the Biogrease?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what we would do.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
And we would do it constantly. That would be like our constant thing to do. Like, come on, Dad needs exercise. Let's go.
There you go.
Mom needs a break. And it turns out that when we were doing it, there was a serial killer up there.
When was that?
It was 2007.
There was a serial killer?
Yeah, and it's
How come I don't know about this?
I didn't know about it either until I saw this documentary on Netflix.
Do you remember tell me more.
I think it's called Blood Mountain Serial Killer. I think that's something to do. The words Blood Mountain.
You would think they'd include blood in it. That's like just.
Because that's definitely okay. So let's see if I can
wait to
find
happen.
the documentary.
I gotta go. I can't believe I don't know about a serial killer on Blood Mountain.
Man.
Where have I been, huh? I don't want to scare anybody. People will be all freaked out. A man disappeared in November on Blood Mountain doing that side trail. He went out there on his own.
Really?
A law professor from, I want to say SMU, somewhere in Texas. He grew up in Blairsville, and he was a prominent law professor and lawyer in Texas, and was, I guess, visiting family around Thanksgiving, and he decided he was just going to go do a day hike. And I guess he was staying at a hotel, though, in Blairsville, and he told the clerk, hey, I'll be back later. I'm just going to go hike Blood Mountain. Somebody saw him at the top. They remembered talking with him, but he never made it home, never made it back to his car, and they never found him.
Okay, so it looks like the most prominent is on Hulu ABC News Studio called Wild Crime. So I guess it's on Hulu.
Okay.
But so there's a.
And what's it called? What's the official name of it then? It's on Hulu?
It's called Wild Crime.
Wild Crime. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, and then there's Real Life Nightmares, Season 4, Episode 1. And that's called Blood Mountain, The Hunting Grounds. And then there's Fatal Encounters, Season 3, Episode 7, called The Blood Mountain Murders.
Oh, come on, really?
And then
I don't know about
Murder by Numbers is Season 1, Episode 3.
That's insane. I don't know about
And
this.
yeah, so there's like multiple documentaries about it.
All my sister does, she's like a true crime nut. And she's always sending me, you should watch this on Hulu or Netflix or whatever it is, true crime stuff. Because I'm a retired lawyer, not criminal though, but she always thinks that I'm still into I appreciate the crime, and when it involves the law, I appreciate that. And so she's always, go watch this. And given my love for backpacking, I cannot believe that she didn't come across that and tell me, hey, there's this, what do you know about the Blood Mountain serial killer? It wasn't even that long ago. That's great. Well, I'm going to have to find that one. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and it was like right when we were up there, too. Right when we were up there, walked, and I think he was like hanging around Blood Mountain looking for victims.
Golly.
Memory serves me right, yep.
I wonder, I want to hear about his MO. Like, how was he stalking people and then Was he grabbing them, taking them off the mountain, or hiding somewhere in the woods? And anyway, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No
Okay.
spoilers.
I won't tell
but
you.
These are the
anything.
things I'm so excited. Yeah, I'll do a special.
Now, of course, I didn't know about
Shuttle
I didn't
Tales.
know
Holy
about
cow.
till like a few years ago. I was like
Yeah.
watching TV. I was like, oh,
Well, they
blood.
caught him,
Hey,
so that's good.
It's like holy mackerel. That's right when we were doing this. Right, it's right when we were hiking there. It's,
The Blood Mountain is such a busy mountain in
It
Georgia.
really is.
Yeah, I mean
It
it's
really
it's
is.
probably one of the busiest day hikes in Georgia because of the little side trail that they got, the Byron Reese Memorial Trail,
yeah.
and you just lots of parking there, and you just the little it's like what, maybe 5 mile round trip hike to the summit and back down, something like
Yep.
that.
And then you go to Neil's Gap.
Yeah, Neil
that
Gap's right
store
around the
there.
corner. Yeah, there's tons of people there.
Man, they have the most amazing hiker box in that store.
I have not dug through that in years because I
Me-
didn't want to. I was like, that's just leave it for the thru-hikers.
That's exactly the way I thought.
I didn't
But
want
I
to
would
dig
look through
through
that,
it.
and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff in here, but it's like I can't. We're not cool enough to be a thru hiker yet, so we can't take it.
I bet there's tons of stuff in the hiker box because,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that start with a lot of stuff they want to dump. I'm sure by the time they get there.
I would go up to we'd go up to Blue Mountain and be like, who the hell is buying their gear in this like little rinky-dink shop? Because it never occurred to me, hey, that's the first place you hit after you start the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to swap everything out.
Yeah, you lighten your load, and plus you get the day hikers down the street that want to stop in, and they got there's a gift shop there too.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess they stay in business. They manage. They have an impressive selection of gear.
They really do.
If you want to lighten your load, they have some stuff you normally would have to order online.
Really?
Some of the cottage backpack companies.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of backpack, what do you got back there?
So I have a Offspring backpack,
Okay.
and I have this problem where like
Okay.
all of my stuff is state of the art from like 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so like it's like, do I spend more money to upgrade for slightly lower weight, or do I keep the old stuff? And that's been kind of like my thought the entire process.
Which Osprey backpack is it? Do you know? Is it the Exos?
It's the Exos, yeah.
So the Exos I would stick with.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it probably fits you well. I have an Exos. I don't use it, but I bought one and I kept it. But I spent $300 or whatever.
What are you using?
I'm using I'm using a light AF Curve 46 liter pack made out of Ultra 200.
Wow, can you fit all your stuff in a 46-liter pack?
Yeah, I'm real good at this now. I've been doing.
What are you using for a tent?
The Duplex Light. So it
Really?
weighs 15 ounces. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you this little story.
All right.
I decided. So I had I told you all my gear is like 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I have a Copper Spur UL2, which
Okay.
is pretty popular. It's over 3 pounds.
Very popular.
And I said, I want to get a lighter tent, I think. So I actually saw somebody on Facebook Marketplace selling. They were calling it a Plex Solo.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there to look at it. It was actually a Plexa Mid, which is the older version.
Okay.
With like the little flat top thing.
Yeah.
So I got a really good deal on it. I bought it.
Oh.
And this guy was located just north, right by, where you do the half-gallon challenge?
Yeah, the Pine Grove Furnace.
That's exactly where he was right near there. So I went to Pine Grove,
Yeah.
Pine Grove, and I found a dispersed camping area, set the tent up,
Okay.
and
That's a single trekking pole version.
that's a single trekking
Yeah.
pole tent, and it's kind of finicky. And it got super cold that night. It started raining and ended up getting wet because my sleeping pad was extending beyond the fly, and it was kind of a nightmare. It ended up, it was not a good night. Let's just put it that
sounds
way.
like a nightmare.
And then it then got really windy and like the things were flapping. And,
Okay.
And so I took it home and I said, okay, I need to figure out how to set this thing up better. So I basically set it up in my living room with a bunch of weights, and I
Oh, cool.
just sat there like for days just adjusting things making sure I got set up right and trying to come up with a way to set this thing up reliably. And
Yeah.
I eventually, if you do it enough times, you eventually kind of figure it out. So I kind of figured out how it was, but there was a few things I didn't like about it. And the first thing was that the vestibule didn't totally close, right? There's always like this gap.
Yeah, that one didn't have the toggle halfway
It has
down?
a toggle halfway down. It would close up to the toggle, but then between the toggle down, it would leave this gap open.
Still a little gap. Okay.
Yeah, and
all right.
Even with the toggle, if it got really windy, it would start flapping and opening up.
Yeah.
And the second thing was that the rain fly was really high off the ground. It's over a foot off the ground.
That's too high.
Which
I think maybe 6 to 8 inches would make sense.
Really, is yours only 6 to 8 inches?
Oh, but you can lower your trekking pole, or depending on how you stake it out, you can adjust how high that's going to be.
I wasn't able to figure out.
But
how
I
to
want
do
it
that.
kind of high, so I get decent ventilation.
You get decent
coming
ventilation.
through. Yeah.
So I
But that's I've been dealing with the duplex. So I had a full size, and now I decided I'm going to get the light, which is, or the classic they called it. And the light is just, it went from 45 inches wide to 40, and then they used lighter fabric. But anyway, so that single pole tent, it's going to be, I don't know exactly how to set it up. It's probably going to be different.
It's really finicky. There's 6 stakes minimum.
I had a Plex Solo when I sold it, but I didn't really notice if there was an issue getting that vestibule down low enough.
In January, there was a huge snowstorm in the D.C. area that basically left snow for a month.
Well,
and I saw that the snowstorm was coming, so I was like, okay, I want to get one more hike in before the snowstorm. So I actually jumped on the Appalachian Trail, went up to the Ed Garvey shelter from Harper's Ferry. I hiked up to the Ed Garvey shelter.
Okay.
And that was a beautiful night. I started at 9 p.m. I also wanted to try my new headlamp.
Okay.
And that worked out great. And but again, it was like I had this. I had my entire place to myself, but I did set up my tent because I wanted to test the tent. And it's like the wind started kicking up from the mountains because you're on the top of a mountain overlooking a valley.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like the wind was coming into my tent, and it was maybe 20 degrees, 18 degrees out, and with a wind chill, I was getting kind of cold.
Okay.
And I'm like, I've never had wind chill issues in a tent before. So it's been kind of brewing in my head that I don't really trust this tent. I think it's okay, but I don't trust it.
Well, is that the tent you brought?
So so I went. Okay. Let me continue the story. We haven't.
Oh, we're not done yet.
No, it just causes suspense for the people at home.
I'm in suspense.
Yeah, or they may.
On the edge of my driver's seat.
Yeah. So anyway, they probably changed to was it Tanya, the New Hampshire hiker? Taylor, the New Hampshire hiker.
Taylor, yeah.
By now.
I haven't seen her in a while.
Yep. So anyway, the last weekend. Was it last weekend? It was right. It was about a week ago. I went down to the Priest area.
Okay.
Because I need to find a space where I could do some more test hikes without snow, and so it was right by Priest Mountain, and I did a hike, and it rained really hard, and I got in the tent, and I felt like, okay, this is okay. It's definitely keeping me dry, and I think this is going to work out. And I don't know. Monday morning, I just woke up and I said, a lot of my anxiety I'm having is this tent going to be able to keep me safe and dry, and I kind of like tents that are bomb proof, and I just said screw it, and I bought a Durston.
Oh, really?
So what's in the back?
So what Durston tent did you buy?
I got the X-Mid 2.
The DCF?
The DCF one, yeah.
The
full
Pro
DCF
2.
Pro.
Okay.
And that's the one thing I really like.
And you've got that one set up several times and you liked it.
Well, twice, yeah.
Okay.
And I love it. Okay, and this is why I like
Literally, the guy who I just drove up earlier today has the same tent. He said he's just he's set it up a dozen times or more, and he just can't seem to get it, the netting around the perimeter inside where correct. He's having issues with it being persnickety with the setup, which is my complaint. But if it's working for you, it works for tons of people. People love it.
One of the things I think having that Plexamid and just spending so many weeks with, I've learned some generic tricks that work for both of them.
Probably.
And the number one thing is this with all of these tents. Okay. And this is for the people at home. I'm sure you already know this.
I might probably not know
is that when usually the stakes are in the corners, right?
Yes.
So you have a stake in the corner, and if you actually look at where the stake is connected to, it makes a straight line into the tent. So in other words, like if it's a nine,
Well, the corner should be at 90.
Yeah,
And then the stake should be 45.
Exactly.
In the middle.
So the stake should be exactly 45 to that corner.
Yes.
You shouldn't have it over to one side,
Agreed.
over to the other side. Right?
Yes.
And
I can't see those angles though for some reason. I get close, but I always have to. There's always one that I got to tweak a little bit.
Yeah.
My tent's the same way.
Exactly. So that's I think the big trick with all of these.
Yeah.
And the Durston, you have to just make sure it's a perfect. Each angle is each section is exactly 90 degrees.
That's
so it has to be a perfect rectangle.
That's exactly right. That I could not get that rectangle correct with that Durston tent.
Really?
I suck at 90-degree angles, man.
So I don't know. The other thing I liked about the Durston, and I've only set it up like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So you're going to be telling the next guy. This guy said.
No, you're fine. You're going to be fine.
It's like even if it's not perfect, it's probably going to keep you dry.
It'll probably keep you dry enough.
The thing I didn't like about the Plexamid is that if it's not perfect, the floor, whatever the bathtub, can actually extend beyond the fly.
That's bad.
And that happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had a 25-inch pad, and the Plexamid floor was basically 25 inches, and so it kept on pushing it past the
to push it out,
and it's like, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to remember at 2 in the morning not to kick the covers off and push it against the side?
If that you did the right move. If you're not able to get that one set up right where you're consistently keeping the bathtub under the fly, I agree. Leave it home. Get
I found for those people that have Plexamids at home, or because I said I tried it a lot, is that what you have to do is you have to get the back side has to be tight. The back.
Okay.
So basically you start with the 2 back pegs in the pole, and then you need to make sure that back triangle is tight, and then the sides are tighter. Then the vestibule can be loose. That's where your slack is. And once you do that, then you don't have that problem as much.
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to make is with the Durston, even if it's not perfect, you're probably going to stay dry.
Well, that's important. Let me know if you don't. I'm curious, and I'll report back to everybody in the next other video.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul got wet, and he had to readjust
how
he was setting up his tent. Set it up, but I set up the duplex, the classic size or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times. Many times.
I feel like the duplex is much easier to set up than
it is an easier
these single pole tents.
So I had the Plex Solo, and I didn't like. It's like a 10-stake tent.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't have to use 10 stakes, but it just made sense. It's like I really need to put the other 2 in to really hold it in place. And I didn't like the Plex Solo because you only have one vestibule. I like having doors on both sides and being able to open up both sides and see out. Or like not having to worry about, okay, if I'm setting up in a particular spot, I want to look out. Which way do I want to look? I want to just have less thought about it. So I'm going to be all right, pretty sure.
Yeah. So the Plexamid was maybe the same vestibule or similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the vestibule was too small, and so I told you when I went to the priest area.
Yeah.
It was like I had my backpack outside, and it rained like crazy. It kept me dry, but the bottom of the backpack was wet, even though it was fully inside the vestibule.
Yeah. That makes the water would just run underneath. Right?
Exactly, and hit the sides from. Yeah. And I don't know. I want something that was going to be more bomb-proof.
So we got an Exos 50. Is a 58 liter.
58 right? Liter.
Yeah. Okay. So the Exos 58, and the last minute decision to go Durston X-Mid Pro 2.
Yes.
All right. So what's the sleep setup?
Okay, so the sleep setup is, and I'm not crazy about this either, is I have a old REI backpack. I mean, an old REI sleeping bag. It's
sleeping bag. Okay.
It's a 10-degree sleeping bag.
Down.
That's down. Yeah. I love it. It keeps me warm. I've hiked in the Sierra Nevadas with it. I've hiked everywhere with it, and I love it. But it is heavy. It's 3.5 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, I also bought a 17-degree sleeping bag, and so I was trying to decide which one to take. I ended up taking the 10, even though it's a pound heavier.
Well, I don't like to be cold, so
Me neither,
I'm
yeah.
starting with a 10 as well, and that's at the end of this month. If I was starting now, I wouldn't even think twice. If it was like, you want to take
Really?
a 10 or a 7? Oh, yeah, I don't like to be cold.
Okay.
I love the cold weather. I love hiking in the cold weather. I like being out in this kind of weather.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be cold.
I
And
agree.
So
I
you're,
agree.
you know, Georgia, I mean, I don't know, the next couple days or whatever here in Georgia is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the cold weather's not over yet. You're, without a doubt, you got to go through the Smokies. But, you know, Georgia gets up to about 4,400 feet or so, max.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you get into North Carolina, you get up above 5,000, and you're up above 5,000
Yeah.
for a while. Up above 6 for a little bit in the Smokies, right? Going over
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah,
renamed
Clingman's
Clingman's
Dome,
Dome to Currahee. I need to just put a sticker so I can read that.
That's right.
And you know, it
Okay, well, that
gets
makes
cold.
me feel good because I woke
No,
up this morning. I was like, should I swap out my bag back to the
No,
17?
and the
degree?
sleeping bag, I like sleeping bag. I have a hoodless sleeping bag because I don't like the way the mummy hood fits over my head. I toss and turn and roll around a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm always the you know, it's just not the hole that you're supposed, when you cinch, it doesn't stay lined up for me.
I know. Yeah, you rotate. Me neither. You roll
Yeah.
over and now you can't breathe.
So I have a hoodless bag, and then I just wear a down hood
So
separate if it's
you
colder.
don't have a. You actually have a bag, a sleeping bag, but it's
Yeah, it's actually a
hoodless,
bag. Yeah, I mean, I have a quilt I'll switch into probably about the time I get to Damascus.
Yeah.
I got to come home for my 8th graders graduation from 8th grade. That's at like the end of May, and so I'll come home and I'll probably dump all my winter, you know, related gear and pick up my quilt then, and that kind of thing. Your wife gets to just drive you your stuff, whatever you want to lighten your load.
Yeah, so that's the
nice.
plan. Is that
Yeah,
she's going to
maybe
bring
switch to the 17
degree
later on. Yeah.
as soon as I get through the Smokies. So, but
You
yeah, I was
might want
looking-
to. You might want to wait longer, but I guess make
Oh,
that
really?
call while. Yeah,
Okay.
man, because you're going to be up at high elevation. Yeah, like you're going to be up at high elevation beyond the Smokies. You know, yeah, the Smokies for sure. You want to keep your cold weather gear. But I've heard a lot of stories of people dropping cold weather stuff in the smoke. You know, after the Smokies, and then you know the Roan Highlands.
Oh, really?
Right,
Okay.
Roan Highlands get pretty cold. The Grayson Highlands, right after Damascus. When it says Highlands, there's a reason, and it's high up there. Stuff can get cold. I've been in the Grayson Highlands in April, and I was real happy I had a 20-degree bag. So, I mean, I guess you'll have a
Interesting.
17. But, you know, I've heard of people,
Yeah.
right, you know, switching to 30, 40-degree quilts thinking it's summertime after the Smokies. And I don't, you know, when you're starting early, I think. You're still early. And so, you know, you start early.
Yeah. So are you going to do trail days?
Yes, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Right. You know, plans are certainly flexible, if you're through hiking. But yeah, I've never been to trail days, and I really want that to be part of my through hike experience.
Yeah. I've been once. I
Yeah?
went in 2015.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool, and I thought, you know, it's not something you need to go back to, but I thought if I'm through hiking, then I'll definitely do it.
What was your favorite kind of thing going on there at trail days? What were your, highlights?
I mean, first of all, you have all the vendors there, right?
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm thinking.
they could repair all your equipment.
Oh, cool.
There's usually somebody there repairing stuff. You know, there's a few things I liked. The first thing was it's just you kind of get a small taste of what the Appalachian Trail is like within a weekend. So,
Okay.
you know, they have like a church there that has free pancake breakfast.
Oh,
You know, they have this parade where basically if you're a thru hiker, you go on the parade
I've heard of the
and
parade.
you hit up a one of those like Goodwill shops and like get dressed up in whatever crazy outfits you have.
That's right, the thrift store. Everybody
The
just
thrift store,
yeah,
yeah.
dresses
And then-
ridiculous.
And then the locals and people like me that are there, you know, gawking.
Right.
Everybody takes a squirt gun and shoots them with water. as they
Okay.
go by. And that's
That
kind of
sounds fun.
And the thing
I
that's
guess.
really cool is just the way that the town itself is so supportive
Yeah.
of the hiking community, right? It's you're going to see a lot of local kids from the town who get really into like squirting the hikers and stuff.
They say, right, the friendliest trail town USA.
It is. It absolutely
is.
is.
Yeah, I've been to Damascus a couple times, and I always had a good time.
Yeah, definitely recommend.
Yeah, I'm getting the mess.
And you know what? If you're, let's stay in touch. If you're anywhere, I'm
you
hoping
got
to
my
be,
number.
I'm hoping I'm going to be north of Damascus when trail days occur.
Yeah.
And my wife's going to drive down, pick me up, and take me. So we could grab you off the trail.
Yeah, I might be hiking in like right as trail days hits. Maybe, right? It's like the middle of May.
Yeah, it's May 13th.
Yeah, so it's roughly 45 days or so from when I start, 43, whatever it is, and I think I can get to Damascus,
well,
I think in 45
That's
days.
why they have it that day, is because the traditional start day was April 1st.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So that's why that's when the bubble would hit Damascus. So,
yeah. So it'd be really cool to be able to hike into Damascus for
that
trail
would
days.
be
But
amazing.
but otherwise, it's shuttle time, baby. It's thumbing it, whatever it takes. I'll get there. I'm not worried about it.
So do you watch a lot of YouTube videos?
Oh, like too much.
Me too. My family is so excited to get me out of the house. They want to watch something else besides YouTube videos. It's always the same thing. I've been watching 2026.
For like
so
10
it's always
years,
like,
man.
let's watch this guy climb Blood Mountain. Let's watch this guy climb Blood Mountain.
Yeah, I really like day 0, day 1. The first few days. Everybody. I can watch anybody's first few days, just to see. Because most. Just to see how they're reacting to what it's really like. Like I like to watch their preparatory videos when they talk about here's what I'm going to do, and like their gear video, and then when rubber meets the road, and they get the first few days in to see how everything falls apart.
Have you
watched all those well-laid plans fall apart?
Have you watched the January 1st group?
I haven't stopped in with those like Prepper and
Tie-Dye Goat.
I have not watched those folks in a while. I haven't watched as much the past week as I was, just because I've been doing a lot of driving and editing these videos and getting them out there, and so.
Yep. So
those guys are well north of the Smokies by now. Where are they? Are they all still out there?
I don't know. It seems that they broke apart. They were hiking together.
Well, it's hard to stay together.
And they so I think Prepper's with Loghead, and I don't really, it's hard to keep track of what's going on.
Sure.
Because I'm like you, I was getting too busy at the end.
Yeah. Who was the other guy that was hiking with them?
There was this guy, Pappy.
Pappy, yeah. Pappy. So here's something I thought was absolutely hilarious. So it was Pappy's, as he's getting up, apparently he's hiked Georgia before. So as he's approaching, he's live narrating, not broadcasting live, but narrating as he's approaching Blood Mountain, the shelter on top of Blood Mountain.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, this is this old shelter, and it's built by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and it's the oldest shelter on the Appalachian Trail, and it's the sun was up. I don't know what time of day it was, and he's like, nobody would sleep in here, and because it's just cold. And he steps into it, and he's narrating. He's like, look here, all the windows, and the wind just blows right through. There would never be anybody sleeping in here. And he steps in the back, and there's literally 3 people asleep in the back of the shelter. He's like, oh, there's people sleeping here. I better hush up, turn around. I thought it was great.
The thing about that shelter is they at least in 2007 they did. I thought that they closed off the fireplace.
Yeah,
like it's a 2-room. I thought the fireplace would be really cool.
I don't know why they did it. I don't know. There's a kind of a firing outside up underneath one of the rocks.
That was going to be one of my things to do, is to sleep in that shelter.
I did that
just because when the kids were young, it's like, let's go to the house.
Yeah.
The problem is that you need a bear canister.
Yes. After March 1st, you have to have the hard-sided bear can.
And it's like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I spent the night in that shelter on my thru-hike, and that was the only one there. You were allowed. There was no bear canister thing in 26 years ago, and I was the only one there. I just timed it weird, anyway, and it was like this crazy storm, pouring down rain, and it was intense, man. And then I, hiked down into Neal Gap, and they're like, you're here kind of early, like, like, where were you last night? I was like, I spent the night in that shelter. They're like, you're crazy. You were in that shelter last night? I'm like, yeah, I was in the
Well,
shelter.
why? What's wrong with the shelter? I think it looks pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's because there's no windows and this doesn't offer any wind protection. And I was up there in the middle of the storm. And it was just, you know, they was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, you know, I just slept through it. And they're like, did you see the skunk? This was, I guess, apparently back then, it was notorious for a skunk living in the shelter. Yeah. And I was there. I started my thru hike on April 30th.
Wow, so you were late.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but that's just the way it timed out. Trying to wait for the guy who was supposed to start hiking with me, and I don't know when he started. Maybe 2 weeks after that. I'm glad I didn't stick around for that one.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I gotta go, dude. You know.
So are you 100% confident you're going to make it to Katahdin?
Yeah.
Really? Excellent.
You have to be.
Oof. Uh-oh.
You have to be. Why not? It's just,
I don't know.
It's just one step after the other. I'm, concerned about physical injury. Like, I'm concerned about, okay, maybe something happening off trail, right? Because, with family or something where I've got to get back and I got to get off trail. And then the other is, as long as my body doesn't give out, some injury, then I'll make it up there. The mental game is what really got to me last time, and that I was thinking too much about some stuff off trail. Being on trail is no longer the most important thing to me, and I think I have the mental game. I'm prepared at least to deal with it. I think I have my bucket of tricks.
Yeah, so I've been watching these videos for a few years now of people. We started right during COVID watching, people doing the Appalachian Trail, and it's just watching these guys and just the all the hardships they go through, the rain, the snow, the mud, the river crossings, just the loneliness, all of the stuff that they go through, and just the sheer grit it takes to make it to Katahdin, and the emotion when they get there. Yeah. And just, look at these guys saying, wow, look at the sheer will it took for them to get there. And I would look at that and I would think, I could do that.
I want it.
So
I want it.
I could do that.
Everybody that's starting wants it, though.
Yeah.
I think.
So I don't know.
I want it.
So I went and told everybody I'm going to do that, and I'm not kind of obligated.
Just do it. Well, just you have a lot of time. So go slow. Every time somebody is faster than you and passes you, applaud them and applaud yourself for just going your own speed. I think that's the best advice I can give. I mean, I haven't done it, but I think that's the thing that knocks people out the most is starting too fast. And not just Georgia, but Georgia and like the first 112 miles between here and Franklin. Yeah. If you do a 14-mile day between here and Franklin, I think you've already messed up. And
really?
I mean, especially the older folks like you and me, right? We're not in our 20s. Our bodies don't heal like they used to as quickly. My hiking brain is still 27.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but I have to tell my body, it's like, bro, you need to go slow. I was thinking 2, maybe 3 zeros in Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So when you mean zero, you mean no hiking?
I mean literally no hiking. So
So you're going to be in a hostel?
So the plan would be, camp right like a mile or two from the road crossing.
Okay.
Get to the road crossing early in the morning, go to the hostel, spend the night in the hostel, and then leave as late in the afternoon the next day as possible.
Okay.
Right. So.
And then just hit a camp.
Mile, 2 miles in, campsite. Yeah, that's it. So maximize some downtime and let my body just heal.
Yeah.
And do that 2, maybe 3 times. So there's the like Blood Mountain, right? Like it's probably the first spot to do it. The cabins or the hostel there, and then at Unicoi Gap. You can get into Helen, which is a fun town.
I know.
Right?
I don't know why nobody goes to Helen.
I don't either. Helen is the kind of town that, like, if you're traveling, it's a tourist town. Go there.
Exactly.
It's got everything hikers could want. There's cheap motels. The Hellendorf River Inn is hiker friendly. It's right in the center of town on the Chattahoochee River, and you can walk to everything you need, and grocery and everything you need. Everything you need is right there, and there's plenty of people that to shuttle you in and out. It's 10 miles to Helen from Unicoi Gap, and it's 10 miles to Hiawassee.
Yeah.
And so you can still go to Hiawassee from Dix Creek Gap, or I was thinking the hostel around the bend from Dix Creek Gap right before you leave Georgia. So that's kind of 2 or 3 breaks right there, and
I'm going to do the Green Dragon. That hostel looks really nice.
Those guys look pretty cool too. I don't know the best. Where's the best spot to get into those guys? You know what? I know that they can get you from anywhere.
They're in Hiawassee.
Are they in Hiawassee?
Hiawassee, yes. So there's like at least 2 road crossings.
At least,
that they can pick you up on, and they do a lot of like slack packing, which I don't know.
You thinking about that or not?
Probably not.
I have 0 plans to slack pack.
Yeah, me too. But we'll see what happens.
That's kind of the purist in me. Who knows if I'll change that?
Me too. I was reading about the very first thru hiker.
Earl Schaefer.
1948.
And
his definition of a thru hike is basically walking the same direction.
Yeah.
None of this like going south and getting picked up and staying at.
Yeah. If you slack pack, then it's automatically a flip flop.
Exactly.
There. Let's see what they say to that.
Yeah. Fight us in the comments.
Right.
We need to be encouraging. We need to be encouraging them to.
People comment.
And don't forget to like, subscribe,
oh my God.
Press that bell.
Share is really important too.
Yeah. And share. Don't forget to share and comment. Give them something to comment about.
But I'm telling you, here's the comment on this. If once you decide to slack pack south, you've flip flopped.
Oh, I agree 100%.
You're just doing a bunch of different flip flops.
I just feel like I want to tell people, hey, I walked here from Georgia.
I
walked here and then walked back and then got driven up to there and then got driven.
I mean, if you hike every white blaze, you hike every white blaze, but it's still a flip flop once you decide.
I got a question for you,
south.
and people at home, comment as well. Let's say, let's take Klingman's Dome, right?
Yes.
The Appalachian Trail goes right next to Klingman's Dome, right around it.
Yeah.
And there's 2 pathways to Klingman's Dome that are blue blazes. That are probably just maybe a couple hundred feet, if that, to Klingman's Dome. So the Appalachian Trail goes around. So you want to see Klingman's Dome, right? So the question is, do you take the blue blaze to Klingman's Dome? Do you then walk back down the same blue blaze and continue down the Appalachian Trail for a few hundred feet? Or do you take the other blue blaze that makes a triangle with the 18?
Oh, and miss some white blazes?
Yeah.
I'm not missing white blazes.
You're not missing a white blaze?
Shit, no.
Interesting.
No, absolutely not.
Interesting.
No, I wouldn't feel good about it. So here's the thing, right? The first time you cut any corner makes it easier to cut the next corner.
Yeah.
And it snowballs. And I know this from personal experience because I cut some corners with my thru hike. I skipped a little bit. I did like a small road walk in Georgia, and to avoid Tesnatee Gap, which is like right after Blood Mountain, right after Neal Gap.
Yeah.
And then when I got off trail, I started with my dog, and when I got off trail at Unicoi Gap, and I got back on at Unicoi Gap, I had to get him off trail, and then I got back on at Unicoi Gap. When I'm trying to think where I was. I made it to Winding Stair Gap. And then I got a ride and skipped the section from Winding Stair to Fontana Dam.
Yeah,
because I wanted to try to catch up with people that I knew. And that's how I got my trail name. They're like, "Oh, look, it's Dave, and no dog."
Oh, okay, interesting.
And but then you cut corners, and next thing you know, like, it's time you don't want to hike anymore from Damascus. You just quit.
This is what I've decided.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about this for a while, and again, once the trail punches you in the mouth, let's talk at trail days, see how we're doing, right? But my thought is, if I could see the trail, I'm good. So in other words, if you pick me up on that side of the road and you drop me off on this side of the road, I don't need to cross the road and walk back across.
Okay.
Right. So as long as I could just see the trail.
I'm gonna be the guy that's like, you picked me. I got picked up there. I want to get dropped off.
You want to get dropped off there. Interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be me. But hopefully I don't. I'm telling you, because if I cut a corner, I know me.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel bad.
That's it. Once I take a bite of the chocolate cake, I'm gonna eat all of it.
That's right. That's right. The forbidden fruit
right?
of blue blazing.
I can't. Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I'll walk backwards. I did like to see Charlie's Bunyan in the Smokies.
Yeah.
It's a blue blaze to go see Charlie's Bunyan, and I didn't backtrack. I went on around, and then I was like, I forgot about that I skipped that part.
So
I've been telling people I've hiked all the White Blazes from Georgia to Damascus, and I just forgot I did.
So you know
that
the
section I
counter to
missed.
that though
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that the trail changes every year.
Okay.
So just because you hiked every White Blaze in 2026 doesn't mean that you've seen all the trail in 2027.
No, you're right. There's been some reroutes, I'm sure, that I didn't get. Well, for sure, I know there's been a reroute for Stover Creek Shelter in Georgia. We have a new Stover Creek Shelter. The one that I experienced,
Really?
yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
They tore it down, and the trail goes a different way to get to the new one.
I read a book about the Appalachian Trail, and it was a history book. It was really interesting.
Which one is this?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was
The one that came out recently, A Hiker's History of the Appalachian Trail by Kelly. What's his first name? Will Mills Kelly?
possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. Let me see if it's still on my phone. I got out of the library, and I think it may have
I
been.
bought this guy's book off of Amazon.
Oh,
He
I
was
think
hosting a
I'm going
podcast.
to. I think
too.
I'm going to buy it too. But
I wonder if it's the same one I read.
the Appalachian Trail biography
Huh.
by Phil Danieri.
When was that published?
I don't know.
Does it have the year?
Here's here's what it looks like.
Okay.
And this is, I got off the library, and it was really just unbelievably interesting. And you know, and they talk about how basically, you know, you always who started the Appalachian Trail? Benton McKay.
Yeah, Benton McKay.
Right.
Right.
But really, he wasn't the one that actually got it going. It was this guy Avery.
Myron Avery.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he was the one who, like, without him, we wouldn't have the trail.
No.
And basically, the trail is basically his philosophy. Like, Benton McKay wanted to have, like, huts that you go to from, like they do in the White Mountains, all the way across.
Yeah.
And make it more genteel.
Yeah,
and
Avery and McKay butted heads a lot.
Yeah,
on the vision once Avery took over.
And so the
actually made
book
it
goes
happen.
through all of that.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of the things that was really interesting is, okay, so the Appalachian Trail came through, and then they decided to build Skyline Drive in Shenandoah National Park.
Okay.
And the problem is, the road is where the old Appalachian Trail used to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so they had like reroute the entire Appalachian Trail because of Skyline Drive. And then
It's the trail's not far from the Skyline Drive.
It's not,
most
no.
of the time. I remember that. I remember crossing Skyline Drive a lot and seeing the cars a lot. But I also remember how easy it is to stop in at the waysides and get food and, you know, enjoy that.
It is, yep.
And it's relatively flat because it's, you know,
you're all the way
because
up.
you're graded almost like a road.
So yeah, but that's not the original. And then the Blue Ridge Parkway, the exact same thing happened.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it's like the trail has changed
Oh, for
quite
sure.
a bit since it was started.
I-
So, you know, another thing that's changed, I remember, like I told you, I was hiking in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Appalachian Trail went on top of Mount Washington.
Really?
Yeah, no, because there's actually, so that's another
So you
example.
don't know how long it's been going
I don't
over
know.
Washington?
Maybe I'm wrong about that because I didn't, you know, in New England, the trail was already established, so it's never the Appalachian Trail. It's always another name. The Crawford Path, right? Is
Oh, is
the
that? I don't
Appalachian
know
Trail,
enough.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so because
Well, I guess I knew that
because
there
the
was,
trails already had names.
yeah,
And the Appalachian Trail just looped on.
started
those.
linking them.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
the Crawford Path is the one that goes from basically Mitzvah Hut and the Newman Tent site all the way up to Mount Washington.
Huh.
And I don't believe it used to cross. And so if you look at the map, it's like the Appalachian Trail kind of makes this like sharp turn, goes up to the top of Mount Washington,
Is
back
that right?
down. And I think that's because everybody was doing it.
That makes
But
sense.
here's another example. So when you're doing that Crawford Path goes over Eisenhower and all of these mountains.
Okay.
And it's kind of cool because then you get to knock off a bunch of, 4,000 footers while you're doing the trail.
Sure.
But the actual Appalachian Trail does not go over the mountain; it goes around the side.
Which mountain are you talking
So okay, let's take Mount Eisenhower.
about? Okay.
It
Oh, it doesn't actually summit.
it doesn't actually summit it. So you go up to Eisenhower, and then you go around Eisenhower, which I guess would be the east side, if memory's. I'm doing this from like 30-year-old memory,
Yeah,
so you know.
it's probably fallible.
But yeah, but it doesn't actually go on top. And so the question is, if you want to do the Appalachian Trail blaze to blaze, you don't get to summit all those little summits.
You got to go up and back down if there's a.
Or you have to go up and back
do
down.
the blue blaze if there's a blue blaze.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
and I've done it both because I've done that hike dozens of times. We know in the 90s and stuff, and it's
A lot of
the Appalachian Trail portion of it is not as interesting. It's just it's basically flat as you struggle through these rocks around the side of the mountains.
A lot of successful thru hikers give their advice is take the blue blaze. That generic, take the blue blaze. It's worth it. Whatever the blue blaze is,
Yeah.
So I have a hard time doing that sometimes, but I try to make myself do it.
I agree with you. I'm in the same boat. Like I want to be a purist, but then, it's like, okay, well, what about the places where it just doesn't make sense? Where I don't want to have to climb up Eisenhower and then go all the way back down, just hit the Appalachian Trail, just go around Eisenhower. It doesn't make sense. And I think what's going to happen is that for situations like that, it's okay for me to take the blue blaze as long as I'm not making the hike easier.
That's an interesting. Right.
So like if you're
don't cut a corner that makes it easier.
Yeah,
it's okay to cut out. It's okay to take a blue blaze that makes it harder.
But I don't know if I haven't done anything. By the time I get there, I'm gonna be like, no way, man, I'm taking the Appalachian Trail. I don't.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Yeah,
You got the options and you've thought it through. I think that's the important part. To put a little planning together.
Yeah,
You've got a lot of backpacking experience.
Yeah, that was before that was
You've
before
done it.
COVID hit, and I sat on the
Yeah.
couch and watched YouTube videos for 5 hours.
Yeah. Well, I got to get the AT done first. That's my primary backpacking goal at this point in my life
Me too.
is to get revenge on my 27-year-old self for quitting the
For
trail.
not do. Oh, you quit when you were? I thought it was like 2 years ago.
No, it was the year 2000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 26 years ago, man. I got to right the ship there. Got to get back on path. I don't like that I quit that. I didn't need to quit. I could have solved that problem and kept on the trail. None of the reasons I got off trail mattered in my life. I thought they mattered then, but none of them mattered. Nothing. Try to get my career back on track, or find whatever women, whatever it was, girlfriend issue or whatever it was, and none of that mattered. All I needed to do was lighten my load and get back on trail.
So what you did in 2000?
In the year 2000.
See, I feel like I wish.
That's when, and I'd never backpacked before. I did one shakedown hike before I started that, and I'd never backpacked.
I feel like something is lost.
That shakedown was a one night.
Oh, really?
3 miles in, spent the night, 3 miles back the next day.
I feel like something
that's it, I'm
was
going.
lost with this idea of cell phones and far out and texting, people to come pick you up at shuttle services.
Yeah.
Like, I was
agree.
planning to do it in 95 and 96, and I was really getting into like researching it. And, I like the idea of showing up at a road and like, okay, well, let's hike in the town and see if there's any room at the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Just that adventure of like, am I going to be able to catch a ride?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a room at the inn? Is the, and now it's like, you call up the Green Dragon Hostel and they meet you there.
They meet you at the road crossing.
I just feel like there's something that was lost with that adventure.
It's a different kind of adventure for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were no phones in 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
There one woman had a phone, and it was like a sat phone to communicate. She was from England, so she was calling home just to say I'm okay. But there wasn't weren't hostels or shuttles or anybody else to call. And anytime she wanted to call, we just tell her go away for a little bit. We're out here. We don't want cell phones around us.
And I think you become a little bit more dependent. Like one time when I was in the White Mountains, I got pretty hurt. I hurt my knee, and I was like way back there, and so I was like, it took me 3 days to get out. I'd like hobble, and I was bumming, ibuprofen off everybody that walked by.
Gosh.
And it's and at one time I thought, okay, I'm going to hide my backpack in the woods, and just try to hike out without the backpack. And I thought, well, if I don't make it, now I don't have a shelter.
Yeah,
so it's
that's-
like I don't have a water filter.
That's a tough decision.
So I ended up just dragging it all out, and it's just that level of just figure it out yourself. You don't press the emergency button.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you carrying a Garmin for this?
No.
No.
I don't see any. I don't understand why they're so popular.
You're in the majority this year. Most years people were carrying them. I think the cell phone and satellite communication with our phones and watches has gotten to the point where you don't need a Garmin. And there's so many people out here. This is, if you're on the CDT, fine, take a Garmin so you can hit that SOS button.
Yeah.
But out here, you probably don't need it. Although some guy recently needed one in the Smokies.
But would it have worked without just a cell phone? So let me tell you, I got a trick for you people at home.
Okay,
and this is free. T-Mobile has something called T-Satellite.
Yeah, what is that?
It's T-Mobile is working with Starlink.
Okay.
So think about this. Starlink has 8,000 some satellites.
At least, right?
And I think 600 of them are dedicated to this, or has the antennas for the T satellite. And they're giving it out for free for 911 access. So you just Google like T satellite 911, and you could go onto their website and just register and download a SIM for your phone for free.
If your phone's unlocked, okay.
If your phone's, yes, that's the point. It has to be a T-Mobile phone or if it's unlocked.
Okay.
If you have T-Mobile service, you already have this. Unless you are a business customer, they have to make sure you have to call up and get it enabled. So, and I feel very confident that the Starlink network is going to be far more reliable than the Iridium network, which is what the Garmin uses.
Yeah.
Or anything else. So right now, my phone has two separate satellite networks. It has the Starlink network and the network that Apple uses, that Apple has built in as well. And I see no reason to buy that.
The Garmin.
The Garmin,
Yeah. I don't know why you need it. Not on the AT.
And people say, well, that's more reliable, and I don't think that's true. If you ever watch Homemade Wanderlust with Dixie?
Yeah.
She has a thing where she actually needed to press the button.
I remember that.
And if you actually watch carefully, she was having communication issues.
Oh, is that
and
right?
her family was trying to contact her via text, and the rescuers were trying to contact her, and she was in a pristine spot. It was basically a wide open area.
Where was she? I forget what trail she was on.
I don't know the trail. I only watched that one episode where she needed the call. And basically, there was no tree cover around, and she was having communication problems. And so I don't think that Iridium network is rock solid as everybody thinks. Yeah, everybody learns how to backpack by watching YouTube now. And everybody has that little communicator right there on the chest. It looks really cool, and it's like...
It looks stupid to me.
Well...
Anything clipped onto your backpack looks stupid to me.
Yeah.
Now people are turning out. They're like, I hate you now. You comment.
Why don't you comment about that? Do you think that thing's clipped on your backpack?
I don't like to have anything clipped onto my backpack. I don't like anything that shakes or rattles or bangs around. Everything is in a pocket, period.
Nah,
I have a little
I'm the opposite.
thermometer.
I look like a hobo, man. Hanging off my backpack.
I don't like it. I don't like hearing it bang against the backpack. I like it a nice, tight, concise, small. And I just want it to be part of my body.
What is your weight with 4 days of food minus watering?
Well, with water. With 1 liter of water, I'm at 24 pounds.
24?
Yeah. When I start here with the winter stuff, I'll drop about 6 pounds when I get rid of when I swap out for warmer clothes.
I'm at
the warm weather.
28.
Yeah, there you go. That's great.
No, probably 20. No, probably 30. Well, maybe. No, I think it's 20. I think it was 26.
Yeah.
And so it's 28 with 1 liter of water.
Yeah. Yeah, I got about a 14-pound base weight, and then add 10 pounds for food and water. That's kind of...
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I could get lighter, but I'm carrying some luxury stuff for the winter. So, I don't need to carry like rain mitts, but they don't weigh that much. I mean, they're, maybe they're like under 2 ounces. I don't need rain pants, but I've wanted rain pants so many times. I'm carrying them,
Yeah.
but they're 3 ounce rain pants from Z-Packs or whatever they weigh,
Yeah.
So I'll carry those. I have a beanie. I don't really need a beanie because I'm carrying a merino wool buff, and
Yeah.
every freaking top I have, my fleece and my
Yeah.
puffy and my rain shell all have a hood.
Yeah.
And so what the hell do I need a separate beanie for? Except I like the damn beanie. That's why. It's
Yeah.
just.
Well,
That's it.
I gotta tell
So.
you, I told you the AT Long Distance Association had that
Yeah.
thing, and the impression I got from them was, don't worry so much about weight that like they're the ones who convinced me to take the heavier sleeping bag, and load up with mitts and hats and things like that.
Like, it takes roughly, like, I think 6 pounds or so. Like, if you can make a 6 pound shift,
Yeah.
you really feel that. If you're just dropping a pound or two, but once
Yeah.
if you can figure out a way to drop 6 pounds, and there's a lot of people who can drop 6 pounds, no problem.
Yeah.
Because every decision they've made is heavy by 8 ounces, and you change a few of those, and that's it.
Years ago, I was backpacking in the Mount Whitney portal in California.
Okay.
Right on the Pacific Coast Trail.
Yeah.
It was a loop that we did, and it was a huge group of us. It was that got together and did it, and we all weighed our packs, and my pack weighed the most at the time. It was 40 pounds. Because,
Okay.
I wasn't really into lightweight. It didn't click at the time, and it was fine. It was tough. We went through New Army Pass, and the problem is the oxygen is just so. It's your body takes some time to accumulate to get accustomed to that.
Yeah, the acclimation.
And the acclimation of that is tough. But the thing now, like the entire time I was hiking, in the back of my head I was like, I have the heaviest pack. I have the heaviest pack.
Yeah, get that
And it
out of
really
your mind.
bothered me, even though I was fine.
Right.
It was like in the back of my head, I have the heaviest pack.
Well, I will tell you, based on my 11 seasons of shuttling hikers, if your pack with food and water weighs under 30 pounds, you are lighter than average.
Woohoo!
30's the number.
Yeah.
Between 30 and 35. If you're over 35, you should probably make some changes, at least based on what I see. I mean, there's people that, I did start off super heavy like that, but most people are right between 30 and 35. So if you're under that, you're good. And how many days of food do you think you packed?
I have 4 full days.
Yeah, so
and I
so
probably
that's
have more
right.
food than I need.
A lot of people have more food than they need when they start. I probably will. I'll probably have more food the whole time because I ran out of food once, and now I pack that fear.
I one time ran out of water in the White Mountains.
Well, that sucks.
And it was at I'll tell you what it was. It was when you're going up when you're going up the AT, you hit, I think it's called Liberty Tent Site, and then you go ridge to ridge above tree line, and there's no water until you get to this shelter below tree line, tent site. And I'm so used to bumping into water all the time, I just didn't have enough water. So now I'm afraid to run out of water.
Well, Georgia's pretty wet. You do what you got to do. We've had enough rain recently, and usually 1 liter is all I need. I mean, make sure you drink a half liter at the water source, and then 1 liter should get you to the next one. There's a lot of water sources that aren't marked and far out in Georgia. These mountains you can see over here, we're going to turn right, you'll get a better view. That's the approach trail. So Amicalola is down to our left.
Hopefully that's the last I see of the approach trail, but we'll see.
You're going to end up hiking it tomorrow. You'll be like, you know what, I'm here at Amicalola, I'm going to get a ride down the bay. There's plenty of strangers, by the way, to get a ride from the lodge to the bottom tomorrow, right? Because it's full of thru-hikers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just look for somebody that's got a backpack, Be like, can I get a ride down to the lodge or down to the base camp? I can't imagine that would be difficult.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will be happy to drive you down there.
Oh, I'm going to be like, can I get a ride back up to the lodge afterwards? Can I?
Yeah, well, then you'll have to make the
going
decision, right? Well, geez, do I do I hike the approach trail, which you can see in front of us? It goes from over there to over here. Springer's over here somewhere. Or do you do that, or do you try to find a shuttle? I don't know what kind of shuttle drivers you're going to find last minute. They can do it.
I'm gonna,
I wonder about that.
I'm gonna play it by ear, right? I'm gonna
That's
see
the plan.
if somebody can. I'm just gonna ask, when I'm registering. Hey, anybody going up to Springer? If no one says that,
Yeah.
hey, anybody going to the lodge? They can start from the lodge. And worst comes to worst, I'll just do it.
Yeah. Just do the stairs. That's it. You do the stairs, climb your first mountain-ish.
Yeah.
Whatever. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, for sure.
I don't remember the stairs being that hard. I think it was like 400 steps.
It's 600, but yeah.
600?
Yeah, it's the last roughly quarter to a third of a mile of the first mile. Right, the first mile is the arch to the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And the first 2/3 of that is flat. Pretty much flat. And then you get to the stairs, the concrete walkway, and then the stairs. They had a couple years ago rebuild the concrete walkway approach because it got all flooded out from some terrible storm. Or washed out is probably a better word. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful today. There's your home, bro. It's your new home. You're going to live there. You live in the woods now.
Shh, that's right.
You live in the woods. You live in the dirt. You don't live in a bed. You live in a tent. You live on an inflatable air mat, I guess. We didn't talk about which one you went with. My guess is I don't know. It's either a NEMO or a Thermarest.
Yeah, I went with the NEMO
There, see?
Tensor 5.6
Nice.
value. And
That'll work for you.
And I actually had, I had a wide one that I bought years ago. I bought it in Arizona somewhere. I was doing some backpacking down there, and it actually developed a hole where, like the rib where the where the seams are. And so I went to NEMO and I said, hey, how do I fix this?
Yeah.
And they said, we'll send you a new one.
Just give you a new one?
Yeah, they gave me a new one.
You didn't have to pay shipping for that?
Nothing.
That's it. Wow, that's
Nothing.
quality service.
And
right
I asked,
there.
I said, well, hey, can I, because I told you I was having problems with my tent, so can I swap this from a large to a 20-inch? 25? They said, yeah, sure. And they sent me a brand new one. And so NEMO's now my new favorite company.
That's really good. Yeah, I think that's great. So far, I'm using an old Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. I don't know. It's the old valve. I probably had it.
Yeah,
since,
the one that. Yep.
Yeah, it's not the wing valve or whatever. It's the older valve, and I probably had it. I'm gonna guess around 2017, maybe 2017, 2018. Long, wide, because I'm 6 feet tall and I like to have the wide pad. I guess I'm broad-shouldered enough, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'll carry the extra weight, and it works for me.
Well, now that I switched tents, I wish I would have asked for the wide, but it is what it is.
Okay.
And one of the things I found is that they all seem to develop holes, all of them.
But don't jinx anybody here.
Yeah, I know.
Mine's holding up. It's just fine. It's doing A-okay all this time. I baby my gear though, man. It's expensive stuff, and I need it to work for me when I go out. So golly.
I do too.
That's one of my big fears. Look at the size of this thing.
Oh, another thing is that
a huge bird.
Big Agnes will also. I had one of them developed a hole, and they said, hey, just we'll give you the credit. You could take that money and use it to buy whatever you want.
Oh, that's cool.
It doesn't even have to be another. And at the time, I didn't need anything, so I still theoretically have that credit.
Well, we're about a mile or so from Amicalola, and then I will point out base camp to you, and then I will drive you straight to the lodge.
Okay.
I mean, I could just drop you off at the bottom and force you to hike the stairs.
I was thinking if I could get here earlier, that I could check in.
Yeah, they close at 4 this year.
And then hike up to the lodge, and I've done like part of the approach already.
Yeah, and then you wake up and do the rest
then
of
you wake
the
up
approach.
and you do doing the approach in a hotel is okay, I can do that.
Yeah, well, you can almost, there's enough cars. There'll be enough people here in the morning, I'm sure, to at least get a ride down to base camp. And then, base camp, you'll be able to start calling shuttle drivers or see if there's somebody who's going from base camp to the Springer. Springer's, about an hour that way. It just has to, it's ridiculous. It's so close, but it's that winding road that takes a minute to get there. Let's go over here. no attendant on duty at this time of night. All right, it's dark enough. I don't really need these sunglasses anymore. Just looking cool.
Oh boy.
So there's the visitor center, and base camp is
Yeah.
it's the bathroom on the right, and then base camp is behind it. The arch is behind it. The falls. There's the lodge way up on the hill there. So we'll
Okay,
drive
see
up.
that guy right there? That's a
That van?
homemade. Well, actually, that looks like it's probably
Maybe he bought that, huh?
he bought that.
Somebody else built it for him.
But I would bet someone's sleeping in there tonight.
Probably. That's a good guess. Well, let's drive on up to the lodge. Get you. Make sure they got
Okay,
you
what
for you.
size fuel canister do you
I
grab?
use the small, man.
The small one.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
that's what I
100 or 110 gram.
Yeah.
4 ounce, however you want to do your conversion. Yeah. The guy I drove up before you insisted on the larger one, but he's doing far more cooking than most people I talk to. So, I mean, that's usually enough for me to get at least 4 to 5 nights, cooking dinner and, an occasional breakfast. Like if I want to heat up water and make an oatmeal, right? Something like that, or whatever. If I'm going to, add water to an expensive dehydrated breakfast.
I forgot. I didn't get a lighter. Can I buy one off of you?
You can buy the little pink lighter I have. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, pink's the way to go.
Because it's easy to spot.
Easy to spot,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, that's right. Although I just bought a lighter that's kind of tan with a green dragon on it. Full size. I'm a full size lighter guy. The one I have for you is a mini Bic.
Okay.
But, if you want to trade it out for a full size lighter somewhere, go for it.
No,
I don't think
like-
I took the child thing off of it. You may want to do that. Because cold fingers and child-proof locks on lighters don't go together.
Here's another guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you rush, you might get a good. I don't know if it looks like the lodge might have a view of the sunset.
Yeah.
I don't know if what might. I don't know
I gotta
we
tell you,
missed
if I could do
sunset
it
or not.
again, I made these reservations in November,
Yeah.
and then it was like too late to cancel them without losing my night's stay. But I'd probably just stay in Atlanta and have you pick me up.
Well, spending a night at the lodge isn't bad. They have a restaurant.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. I don't know the hours of the restaurant, but I would think that they do dinner. And so I would think we're still right here, 6:30 p.m. They're probably right in the middle of dinner time. And the breakfast, right? There's another benefit. The breakfast is supposed to be pretty good.
Excellent. So, by the way, for you people playing along at home, I am I don't know how well I'm going to do this, but I'm thinking about doing a YouTube channel. Just my
For the
family
hike?
and friends, want to
Nice.
see it. So, I don't know how well it's going to go. We'll see. But right now, I got the channel.
Yeah, what is it?
Paul Eats Trail Mix.
Paul Eats Trail Mix. Well, I'll be
Paul
sure
Eats
to
Trail Mix. All the cool
add a
kids will be
link
watching.
as well to the description when I get this thing up.
Probably have
And,
some.
I'll send you a link as well when it goes up. I have 2. I'm kind of just spacing them every other day right now, so I think
Okay.
there's 3 ahead of you that have to go up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
man. But
Paul
I'll
Eats
let you
Trail
know.
Mix. All the cool kids are going to be watching. Taylor Swift, the Pope. They're all going to be watching, so I assume you will too.
Well, man, it was really nice meeting you. Fist bump.
All right.
Have a great hike. Let me grab that mic from you. I don't want you taking that to Maine.